Oh yeah, let's not wait too long. Let's not wait too long, y'all. Let's get the webcam frame going. Man, it's good to be back. Back here in my soon to be finished studio slash office. I had to upgrade it on y'all real quick. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all got tired of seeing the blue, the nice, calm blue wall paint. I'm not trying. I don't even know what the hell kind of scheme I'm gonna go with as far as wallpaper is concerned or paint is concerned. Not really sure where I want to go with that. But as you can see, got the greatest, got the goat behind me, got hold me down. So yeah, let's get to AEW Dynamite, yo. First of all, it was a solid show. I'd say the show was solid. It wasn't really nothing to scream about. If you DVR'd it, you didn't get to see it yet, then did yourself a little bit of a service. The show started off with Orange Cassidy. I mean, he's pretty much the showrunner at this point. Every show at Dynamite pretty much opens up with an Orange Cassidy international title defense. The title on Orange Cassidy at this point has become just mundane. It's become, the title doesn't mean anything anymore. Orange Cassidy is so over. He doesn't need the belt. First of all, this belt should have been off of him a while ago. I'm not even sure if there's a plan to get it off of him. And if there is a plan, my God, who is going to take it off of him? Because he's pretty much gone through everybody except for the heavyweight class. The Moxleys, the Jerichos, the top echelon guys. He has not gone through yet. But he's pretty much gone through the whole mid card. So I don't even know. And it's an international belt. Wouldn't he be doing more international defenses, not just on AEW Dynamite? So the title is just a mockery. I don't know what to do with it. But that being said, Willie Yuta and Cassidy proceeded to have a really good match. They were buddies before. They were in the faction, the best friends, before Willie Yuta joined the Blackpool Combat Club. So it was very simple that they were going to have a very good, back and forth. They had good chemistry in the ring. Long story short, of course, Cassidy wins. Now, John Moxley and company come down, BCC come and beat him up. The same old stuff that you've seen pretty much. BCC getting into it with the best friends. Best friends come down, they help Cassidy out. Then, Ray and Penta come. Lucha Bros come. And, it's the same factions, the same feuds happening over and over again with the BCC and these two other teams. I wish this feud would actually end as well. But those guys got together. Next thing you know, out comes what else? Somebody else came out. I'm trying to think. It was just overbooked, but a whole bunch of guys came out. Eddie Kingston. So now Eddie Kingston is reinserted into this storyline with Claudio Castagnoli, of course, Ring of Honor champion. And then you got John Moxley as best friend or former best friend. Not really sure how they're really blending that storyline together. And then you had, of course, Willie Yuta. But now the BCC is going to have to find somebody to join them to go against Eddie and friends. So, Eddie Kingston and friends are going to go against the BCC and Mystery whoever. So I don't know who they're going to join up with. That'll be interesting to see who I don't know. Who's left? Everybody's booked on this damn show at All Out. It was it All In? My bad. Everyone's booked on this show. So I don't even know who the hell would be left for Moxley and company to even use at this point. So that'll be interesting to see in the next coming weeks. Now, on to the next match. Let me look here. I'm looking on the card. I'm on board. Oh yeah, then you had the Kenny Omega interview with good old JR. Now, you know, I don't know, man. Kenny's a unique guy because here I am saying, okay, this interview is kind of whatever, right? And then of course it was really a setup for him to get jumped by Takeshita again and Don Callis and the Bullet Club Gold. So Bullet Club Gold made a lot of appearances on this show, which was very interesting. And I like that because you want to keep these guys constantly on TV. I'm talking about Jay White and Juice Robinson. Those two right there, man, they are money. And if they can keep those guys on TV as much as possible, it's going to bring in money for them. Because Jay White can't sit for long. You got to get him into a big feud, and you got to put some gold on his waist. You know, because he's a big time player, and he needs to have something to represent that. Represent his stature in the business. You know, he's a young guy. So, you know, you got to get the ball moving, Tony Khan. So, other than that, you had that happen. You know, Kenny got jumped, so he goes to the hospital, quote unquote, and then Hangman cuts into a promo talking about he's going to join the fight with Kenny and his boy, his boy, the Golden Lovers, the Golden Brothers, the Lovers, yeah, the Golden Elite. So they're gonna join up together and they're gonna go against the Bullet Club, Gold and Takeshita at All In. So you got those guys. That's I mean it's a feud that's like okay, whatever. You know, again, everyone is gonna be booked on this card. So it's, they Tony Khan is gonna make sure everybody get them a payday. But other than that, you got I don't even want to talk about this goddamn match. Jeff Jarrett versus. Oh, before we get there, before we get to that mess, let's just go through the other matches real quick. Okay, you had the Kingdom versus Darbs and the boy Wade. And, of course, they win the match, and then Swerve tried to get to them, and it didn't work, and, it was a foil that didn't work, of course. They tried to jump Darbs and the young boy, but it didn't work. Then it cuts into this very cool promo between Stinger and Nana, the manager for the Kingdom. Or Swerve's Embassy, or whatever the hell Swerve's faction is called. I can't even remember so many goddamn factions in this organization in AEW. You guys gotta put out graphics of all the factions so we can remember all of them because it's a long list. Trust me. But yeah, you get to Sting. So Sting has him on the couch, and then instantly we know the return of Joker Sting. Joker Sting is back. So Joker Sting goes into this great, entertaining promo. It's amazing that Sting can cut these amazing promos at this age. He just does it. It's like he falls out of bed and he's like, I'm just going to cut an amazing promo doing a completely different character that I played at TNA. So Sting is playing the greatest hits before he retires. So now he's playing one of his old characters straight out of the TNA playbook, and that is Joker Sting. So Joker Sting is, for those of you who don't know, he's like this alter ego deranged version of Sting that's like the Joker. He's jokey, he's deranged, he's unpredictable. So yeah, he cuts his promo in that character, and it was great. I mean, he's Sting. He's an all-time great. I mean, it's not surprising that he's going to deliver. So yeah, that was a great segment that led on to the Jericho, and I can't forget that Jericho didn't he accepted to join Don Callis, but Don Callis expected him to decline the offer, which had Don Callis reveal a really interesting painting that had him beheading Jericho, holding his head out, like those those paintings that he's been revealing. But he had one with Jericho's head out, so it was interesting. And then Jericho gets jumped by Takeshita, so Takeshita made a lot of appearances today. And Will Ospreay pops out of nowhere, hits Jericho, hence brings on what we all expected was going to happen, and that was Will Ospreay versus Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho was going to get that match, trust me. So, you do get Will Ospreay on the show. It'll be massive because it'll be in Wembley Stadium. So, that crowd's going to be nuts when he gets out there. So, I do expect him to beat Jericho. There's no way Will Ospreay should lose to Chris Jericho after he beat Kenny Omega. What are we doing? So, that's setting up. Of course, everything on this show was just pretty much setting up for the pay-per-view at Wembley Stadium. Everything. So, other than this turd fest that we watched with Jeff Jarrett versus Jeff Hardy. Alright. Before I get into the match, I understand the logistics of what was going on. First of all, it was just an ad. The whole match was an advertisement for the new Chainsaw Massacre movie that's coming out. Why they keep remaking this movie, I have no idea. But here we are, 2023. Chainsaw Massacre makes an appearance, a return, again. So now the whole movie is basically running throughout this entire match. The theme of the match was created just solely to promote the movie. So that's one thing that's terrible about this. Secondly, the match was terrible. It was overbooked again. TNA special all over. It was like all the special sauce of TNA. All over. I'm talking about overbooking. Just everything. Chaos. Mayhem. You name it. Everything was going on in here. You had fake pig's blood like Carrie from the horror movie. You had you even had the freaking Singh, the big guy, Satnam Singh wearing freaking overalls. I don't even know how the hell he found overalls for his big ass to even fit. Then you got what else going on? Karen running around again. Jeff Jarrett wins the match. Well, you had the Chainsaw Massacre guy come out and chase Karen off with a fake chainsaw. It was like Halloween, like in the summer. I don't even know what's going on, man. I understand that you had to promote it. You had to make Warner happy, Warner Bros, Discovery happy, Tony Khan, but did it have to be on your quote-unquote A show, Dynamite? Because you got a show on Friday that no one barely watches, and it's called Rampage. Man, you could have put this turd fest, right on Rampage. You could have ran it up, say, hey guys, take as much time as you need in this little hour. You could have gave that all to them on that show. I don't understand why you had to give valuable time on your A show to these guys, doing it in that way. Exactly, in that way. You could have did it in a more creative way, Jeff Jarrett and Jeff Hardy should not be taking up valuable time on TV in 2023. I'm sorry. I don't even understand why Jeff Jarrett is even wrestling on Dynamite. You couldn't find TV time for Hobbs or the million other talented guys on your roster? Somehow, good old Jeff Jarrett keeps finding some ways on your primetime TV slot. It's bizarre to me. That's why I know, without a doubt, after watching tonight, Collision is for sure the A show. This shit on this Dynamite, this is SmackDown. Or the old SmackDown before the Bloodline got involved with Roman. But this is like SmackDown versus Raw now. You keep SmackDown, a.k.a. Dynamite, on Wednesday, and we're going to do real wrestling on Saturdays with Collision. So, because this is just, overbooked. Everything on the show really was overbooked. So, on from the Texas Chainsaw Turd and on to the next match, I believe. I think I'm jumping all over the place, but I don't really give a crap. You got Britt Baker and the Bunny. They wrestled. Bunny returned after 6 months on the shelf. She looked all right in the ring. She looked fluid. She still the Bunny. And, Britt Baker and her got some chemistry, so the match didn't go as bad. It wasn't, like a botch fest like the match Britt had previous with, I can't remember her name. Taya Valkyrie, I think that's her name. So yeah, she didn't have any botches with the Bunny because of the chemistry, so it went well. So other than that, Britt wins. Of course, Britt was gonna win because she's gonna be in that fatal 4-way against Sheeta. Jesus Christ, my memory is bad. I smoked some weed before I got on here, which is terrible. You shouldn't do that. But this is live, baby. We doing this live, and I wanted to deliver this in a live type of way, in a live atmosphere and feel. But anyway, Britt Baker, Sheeta the champion, Saraya, and Toni Storm. There we go. I remember. So those 4 are going to be in the fatal 4-way to see who's going to win the championship. It'll be interesting to see how they book that. I know Saraya is not going to win. Will they put the belt back on Britt Baker? That would be interesting. Like, the way I would book that fatal 4-way. Now I know we're going off of Dynamite real quick, but bear with me real quick. The way I would book that fatal 4-way, I would have Britt Baker win. Because, come on, we know, some way, somehow, Jamie Hayter's going to make an appearance in this match. Toward the end or whatever, however they book it, Jamie Hayter has to make an appearance at Wembley Stadium. Being from a UK-born star, she's got to make an appearance. Former AEW Women's Champion. It's just written all over it for her to make an appearance. So, what better way for her to make an appearance, make a save, because Saraya and Toni Storm jumps Sheeta and Britt, and then there she goes. She comes out like a freaking blaze of glory and goes in and saves the day. But once she saves the day, she realizes that she comes back to claim her title. But now her title is on her best friend, Britt Baker. So that would be awesome. So you'll have 2 quote-unquote baby faces eventually coming to meet to settle who's going to be the women's AEW World Champion. So that'll be an interesting way to book that. So that's how I do it. But again, I don't even know how they're going to go about who's going to win that match. So anyway, we'll get into that down the road when I do a review on that. But ongoing with the show, MJF and Adam Cole, they did their little skit promo thing. They came, did a couple things, and I get it. They're doing the skits. They're good. They're great at it. Those two got a great chemistry. They did what they did, and then they came into the stadium, cut a promo on each other, talking about basically gearing up for All In and talking about their main event match, because apparently they are main eventing the card, and that's a big freaking deal to be the main event at Wembley Stadium. So I hope they deliver, because they can't deliver a turd, because the whole world will be watching. So yeah, I think that the promos that they cut on each other were pretty good. I mean, they're great at what they do on the microphone, so don't expect anything less. So, they cut their promos. Then Aussie Open, they came in and jumped them, which is great, because that's setting up for their tag team match, also on All In. So the interesting thing is, will they book Adam Cole and MJF to win this ROH Tag Team Championships off of Aussie Open? That'll be the interesting part. Will they go in their direction? Because they're wrestling twice on that card. So I would think they will. Obviously, the best way to book it is you have MJF and Adam Cole win those belts, but one of them will turn on the other one in that main event match, which will bring crazy friction to the tag team unity that they have to carry on as ROH World Champions. So that'll be great storytelling if Tony books it that way. We don't know because Tony's still kind of learning on the job. So on from that one, what else we got on the list here? What else we got? Jeff Jarrett, why is he wrestling? No, we did that. Joker Sting returns, we did that. We had the main event, I guess. Yeah, we go to the main event. So you got the main event, and that's the ass boys or the Guns, Colton or Colt and Austin Gunn, and now they're in Bullet Club Gold now, so they're kind of official. They made men now, so now they challenge the Young Bucks. So the Young Bucks and those two had a decent tag team match. I gotta give credit to them and the Guns. The Guns were green as goose shit not too long ago, man. I'm talking about, I watched these dudes have these little matches at Daly's Place when there was nobody in the audience during COVID, and they were slowly building them. Their father, Billy Gunn, was slowly building them up where they could be, potential breadwinners down the road, or thoroughbreds down the road when it comes to this tag team division. And so far, they've been doing a really good job. They had a pretty good match with both Nick and Matt of the Young Bucks, and everything kind of went as expected. The Young Bucks win the match. Bullet Club Gold, Juice and Jay, they come down and they start to beat up on the Young Bucks. And then, who saves the day? FTR. FTR saves the day to the Young Bucks, and then the Young Bucks face off against FTR because they're going to go at it at All Out, of course. And the show ended pretty much. So, the show in its totality did a good job doing what it needed to do, and that's building to its biggest show. Every single match on this card, regardless whether you like the story or not, did do a good job of building to the all-out match. So, or the storyline at All Out for whoever was involved here. So, credit to them for that. Other than that, the show was, the show didn't really give. It doesn't give. Again, like I said before, it's not the A show. Collision is clearly the A show. Collision gives me that vibe. I love the pacing of Collision. It's just boom, 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 boom. Like, they just go through segment and segment, and then right to the wrestler, right out the wrestler, and then commercial. Like, it's very, very. It's just well paced. I like the writing on that. So, what I want to do going forward is I do want to know more about who's behind what match, what show, as far as creative is concerned. Because it is going to be very interesting. And I think it's interesting in general because you see stylistically the differences in both shows. So that's something that I want to pay attention to more going forward for both Collision and Dynamite. And just get a sense of who's really pulling the strings on each segment. Other than that, that's my thoughts in total as far as this week's Dynamite. Give me your thoughts down in the comment section below. I'll be posting this up on Twitch, of course, as I live stream it now. And I'll be posting this up on my YouTube page as well. That's at Chuck Westworld, on all social platforms. Subscribe to the YouTube page because the YouTube page gets all my content as far as my short videos and such. And I'll see y'all guys next time on the next live stream. Peace out.